football Gameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you our college football preview between the Pitt Panthers and the Virginia Tech Hokies. Now let's take a look at some keys to victory for both teams, starting with the Pitt Panthers.
I love the Pitt Panthers' pro-style offense. That's a brand of football that you rarely see in today's college football landscape. It allows quarterback Tom Savage to operate off play action, and it gives both talented wide receivers Devin Street and the freshman sensation Tyler Boyd opportunities to hit big plays downfield. The biggest question defensively is, can they get pressure outside of their talented defensive tackle Aaron Donald? Now don't get me wrong, interior pressure is a good thing to have versus a mobile quarterback, and to their credit, they do a great job of smothering the running game very well with 30 TFLs. That tells you all you need to know about how well they can play behind the line of scrimmage, but they have to remain disciplined this week versus Logan Thomas, otherwise he's going to make you pay. Now let's move over to Virginia Tech in this ball game, and it looks like the Hokies offense is starting to stabilize itself, and as long as Logan Thomas can, number one, protect the football, and number two, make good decisions, they'll continue to get better. However, that offensive line has to get better in order for this offense to really take flight. But defensively, when you look at what they've done all season long, they've been very solid. 19 sacks, 13 TFLs is what I definitely call getting it done. The Hokies can definitely apply pressure. They do an excellent job of getting you off the field on third downs, thanks in part to defensive end Jack Towler, who is a certified stud. The X factor for the Pitt Panthers will be their sensational freshman receiver, Tyler Boyd. Here's a guy that's going to be next in a long line of great Pitt wide receivers, and you can put the football in his hands anywhere on the football field as a receiver, as a runner, as a returner. He definitely has the skill set to make things happen, and they're going to need his big play capability this week versus the Hokies. The X factor for Virginia Tech will be the passing game. So when you look at Logan Thomas and what he can do with the football, he has to start short, work himself intermediate, then take those timely shots deep downfield, but he has to protect the football. And if they can get things going throwing it, it makes this offense that much tougher to defend if you're Pitt. Now here are some coaching points for both teams in this ballgame. It all starts with Tom Savage. Number one, protecting the football. If he can do that, we know Pitt's offense will stay on pace. They do have weapons on the flanks, and they do have the ability to run the football. And they have to win a couple of battles in order to be successful this week versus Virginia Tech. They have to win the battle up front along that offensive line, and they also have to win on first down defensively. That's going to put the Hokies offense in backed up situations, and that's what you want. You want these guys to get in obvious passing situations so you can unleash your pass rush to get to Logan Thomas. Now for Virginia Tech in this ball game, you look at Logan Thomas's athleticism. You want to utilize that to your advantage, get him on the move, and give that Pitt defense that much more to worry about. And you have to match strength versus strength. That's going to be a great battle to look out for. That's Virginia Tech's secondary going against the wide receivers of Pitt. If Virginia Tech can win that battle, they will ultimately win the game. And the interior offensive line has to make sure they get Aaron Donald blocked up front. If they can't do that, if he's allowed to have free reign to the quarterback or free reign to disrupt the running game, it could be a long day for that Hokie offense. Now here are some 2014 draft prospects you want to keep an eye on in this ballgame. For Pitt, you look at Devin Street, one of the best wide receivers in the country. And on defense, Pitt is loaded. Aaron Donald, one of the best interior defensive linemen. Despite his size, this is the guy you want on your football team. And in the secondary, Kawan Williams and Jason Hendricks, who's a ball hawk. This is the guy that sniffs out the football and always makes a play on it. Now for Virginia Tech, you look at James Gale, outstanding edge rusher, 6'5", 253, always a nuisance each and every Saturday for opposing offenses. And Jack Towler, I know I made the mistake earlier and said he was a defensive end, but he's a linebacker, 6'1", 225, always around the football, as well as their cornerback Kyle Fuller and Keshawn Jarrett, the safety. Big fan of what they do back there in the secondary. And Logan Thomas, the 6'6", 257-pound senior, that's looking to try to get back into the groove he had 2 seasons ago when he jumped onto the scene versus Michigan in the Sugar Bowl. Bill Froelich was one of the best offensive linemen in school history. From 1981 to 1984, he became a 2-time All-American and is now inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame. Sometimes you have to pay homage to the legends while they're still involved in the game, and Frank Beamer not only did it as a player from 1965 to 1968 as a defensive back for Virginia Tech, but as a coach from 1987 to now, 227 wins and 7 conference titles. I like Virginia Tech in this ballgame. I think this game will be won by their defense. Their secondary actually matches up very well versus Pitt's passing game, and I think they'll do a great job of forcing Tom Savage into some bad decisions, which would ultimately get that football back for that ball control Hokie offense.